And if by now you still haven't read it or haven't heard of it, please, I'm begging you, go get it right now, in this moment. Hey loves, so if you know me, you know that I'm a huge believer in what you consume makes who you are. And this applies to everything: the music you listen to, the books you read, the movies you watch, and the social media accounts you follow online. So today, I want to introduce 4 books that you really should be consuming by now, and I promise you they will make your life for the better. So let's get started. So the first book is called The Alchemist by the Brazilian author Paulo Coelho. And if by now you still haven't read it or haven't heard of it, please, I'm begging you, go get it right now, in this moment. This is a book that is very short, very sweet, only has 160 something pages, but filled with wisdom and so powerful. The book is about this Spanish shepherd boy called Santiago and his journey from Spain to Egypt looking for treasure. Along the journey, he was able to meet a lot of people through which taught him a lot of lessons. Because the book is so short, I really don't want to give away too much. There's just one sentence that I want to share with you here, which is probably the most famous sentence out there through all the most famous self-help, spiritual, and motivational books. The sentence goes as this: when you want something, the entire universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. What this means is that when you want to achieve something in life, when you set your mind on something, what matters the most is not necessarily what is happening in between and what happens while you're on your way to achieve it. What matters the most is the unwavering faith and the self-belief you have in yourself, that you're going to achieve it and you're going to get there no matter what. In that way, the universe will help you to do so as well. And the second book is called New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. So by now you probably have heard of one of his most famous books called The Power of Now. I believe I have seen that everywhere on the market a few years back. But personally, I actually prefer New Earth to The Power of Now. The Power of Now is about how to live in the present moment, how to always live in the now, which I've been doing for a long time. However, the New Earth is diving one step even further. It's talking about this whole thing called ego, but not just your normal sense of ego. I think now we understand when he thinks he's really handsome or when she thinks she's really smart, that is ego. But Eckhart actually dives into the other end of the spectrum. When you think that you're not pretty enough, when you think that you're not skinny enough, when you think that you don't have enough money, when you think that you're not capable enough to achieve certain things, that is also the ego in your mind. So going through this book will help you to recognize the ego other people create when they're interacting with you, and most importantly, recognize that ego that you hold in your mind that is really holding you back from achieving the best self and living your best life. So definitely go pick this up. It's a little bit esoteric, so there are definitely some parts of the book you will have to read a few times in order to understand the underlying meaning of the paragraph and of the author. But I promise you, after you finish this book, you'll become so much better at knowing how to interact with the people around you when their ego is doing the works, and most importantly, learn how to interact with yourself. The third book is called The Untethered Soul by American author Michael Singer. So the subtitle of this book is actually called The Journey Beyond Yourself. So from this title, you can already tell this is a book diving into how to achieve the best version of yourself and how to go beyond where you already are. There's so many great ideas in this book. 2 of my favorites are: the first is this term called inner roommate. It's basically what Michael describes as the inner thoughts that you constantly feed yourself into. For example, when you're walking into the park, you can't really enjoy the beautiful scenery, the beautiful trees, the beautiful river, and listen to the bird singing if your mind is constantly occupying on certain things. For example, did I turn off the stove or not? And when that voice constantly are going on in your mind, you won't be able to enjoy actually what you're supposed to be enjoying. And a lot of times these voices can be just narrating certain things, but also there's sometimes this voice or being negative and tell you that you can't do this, you can't achieve this, and you can't tell this person that how you really feel. So this is so important for you to understand, and how you learn to just observe these thoughts and treat them as the thoughts from your inner roommate and not actually who you are and how you should operate. The second idea of this book that I really love is this idea about how you can never control your outside world, but you can always control your inner world. This kind of correlates with how you should always learn how to control your inner thoughts. So overall, this is a book that you will gain so much lesson and ultimately learn how to better operate in a world filled with chaotic things, and in a world filled with things that might not necessarily serve you the best purpose, but you know how to navigate through it. And the last but certainly not least book is called The Mastery of Love by the Mexican author Don Miguel Ruiz. And for me, this is probably my personal favorite. It has helped me so much with every relationship I hold in my life. And let's just say this book has helped me to become the best lover, the best friend, the best daughter, the best sister, best employee, and best everything that I can be. This is also something that I really think you should just know that you need to read it, instead for me try to tell you what the book is about. But in a short summary, this book teaches you how to love yourself on a deepest level, and teaches you to understand that you cannot control other people's feelings towards you, their judgments towards you, how they live their life. So ultimately, what matters is that how much love you hold in your own heart towards yourself. And when it reaches a certain point, you can start extending to every single relationship around you. So since I have this book right here with me, I'm going to read this one short paragraph and wrap up this video. So the paragraph goes like this. To master a relationship is all about you. The first step is to become aware, to know that everyone dreams his or her own dream. Once you know this, you can be responsible for your half of the relationship, which is you. If you know that you are only responsible for half of the relationship, you can easily control your half. It is not up to us to control the other half. If we respect, we know that our partner or friend or son or mother is completely responsible for his or her own self. If we respect the other half, there's always going to be peace in that relationship. There's no war. So those are the 4 books that I truly, wholeheartedly recommend. And if you have already read some of them, please leave your comments down below on what your thoughts on them and how they have helped you. And if you haven't read any of these books, please go read them and let me know. Sending you so much love and light, and XOX.